Hey guys, it's Niklas here from upgradeToLife.com, and in this video we are speaking about something very important which I definitely 100% want you to get, and that is that you are already that which you want to be. Creation is finished. So when you fully get this, when you accept this, when you understand this, when you through some experiences, some testing, know that this is true, then this will definitely shift your perception of life, and it will definitely enable you to, in an easier way, shift into your ideal self, right? To, in an easier way, manifest and realize and move towards your goals. So make sure you watch this till the end. Also, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe to my channel. And if you want to learn more about all of these teachings and how you can make those shifts happen in an easy step-by-step way for you, then check out the 2 links in the video description for my coaching and my free masterclass. So with that, let's jump into the video. Let's start with some quotes by Neville that actually explain this in a deeper way. So he said, "Creation is finished." In other words, all that you ever has been or ever will be, in fact, all that mankind ever was or will be, exists now. This is what is meant by creation. And the statement that creation is finished means nothing is ever to be created. It is only to be manifested. Okay? Let this sink in. For me, when I really got this was a huge game changer for my whole life. Because look, when you build a sandcastle, for example, and you say, oh, like I created this, then yes, in like this human sense, you created the sandcastle, but from this bigger perspective, it already existed. You just moved your awareness into that particular reality where you have a sandcastle, or you, through your imagination, made this manifest, but it already existed within this infinite consciousness that is the source of everything. Okay, so creation is finished. Every possible reality, every possible configuration of atoms, every possible configuration of you, every possible version of you, every possible lifeline that you can imagine already does exist. It is already a possibility. So your job is not to create and ask yourself, oh, how do I create this? How do I become a good creator or a good conscious creator? You are, in that sense, not creating things. You are, in that sense, choosing things. You choose what you want to experience, but you don't create it and with force and pressure and worry and waiting around. No, you choose, okay, this is what I want. You occupy it, you assume it, you imagine it, you feel yourself to be this person. And with feeling, I mean like you're sensing that this is already true. Doesn't have to be so much with emotions. And you really occupy this because it already does exist. So when you let this sink in a little bit and you think about your goals that you have in your life, when you think about the version that you want to become, then stop thinking that you need to become it, because it does already exist. You don't become this person. You literally shift into this version. Again, I explained this in my free masterclass. If you haven't watched this yet, I highly recommend you do this. It's free. Check it out. Link in description. These plugs in between are funny. But yeah, like that's it. Super important. Let's keep going. So Neville also says, what is called creativeness is only becoming aware of what already is. You simply become aware of increasing portions of that which already exists. Right? It already exists. So the whole of creation exists in you. And it is your destiny to become increasingly aware of its infinite wonders and to experience ever greater and grander portions of it. So let's break this down, because for some of you this maybe sounds a little bit complicated or too woo-woo stuff, too esoteric, but actually in my opinion that is not woo-woo or esoteric. That is just the deeper truth of life. So Neville says, the whole of creation, right, exists in you. So when you now look in your body, you won't find the whole universe in your body, right? It's not meant to be taken literally. It's not in your body, it's not in your bones, it's not in your blood, that the whole of creation is in you. But the question is, what does Neville refer to with the you? When you know who you really are, right? Which is this infinite consciousness. That you are not essentially the mind and the body, that you have a mind and the body, right? Again, for some of you, this is too complicated or it's too deep or a little bit advanced. That's no problem. You will learn this. You will experience this. You will accept this. I will make a YouTube video about exactly this part, that you're way more than your body and what your senses are telling you and your mind is telling you, that you're beyond that, right? That you're the one which is witnessing your thoughts and your emotions and your sensations, that you are this ever-present awareness and consciousness. That is the real you. And within that, all possibilities, all the creation, all the potentials exists. And it's your job to just choose what it is that you want to make alive. It's not about battling and forcing and working super hard. Okay? If creation is finished and all events are taking place now, the question that springs naturally to the mind is, what determines your time track? Okay, which means what determines your life basically, when everything is already done, when everything does already exist, when everything actually is an invisible potential, so to say, and you only choose what you manifest through your imagination, through your identity, through your imaginal activities, and through your assumptions, then what determines what you experience in your life? What determines your time track? That is what determines the events you encounter. The answer is your concept of yourself. Concepts determine the route that attention follows. Here's a good test to prove this fact. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You can do this right now with me together. And observe the route that your attention follows. You will observe that as long as you remain faithful to your assumption, so long will your attention be confronted with images clearly related to that assumption. And it's really true. I tried this over and over again. So when you remain faithful to the wish fulfilled, right, to your goal, to what it is that you want, and you put your attention on that, then you will see that your mind wanders to related images, to related situations, or to maybe past memories of that. But you can really see that it's based on what you believe to be true. So assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. Right? I continue, then you will see that this makes sense. For example, if you assume that you have a wonderful business, maybe that is your goal, you will notice how in your imagination your attention is focused on incident after incident relating to that assumption. Friends congratulate you, tell you how lucky you are. From there, your attention goes to larger offices, bigger bank balances, and many other similar related events. Persistence in this assumption will result in actually experiencing, in fact, that which you assumed. You see, so when you assume something, when you assume you have a business, you have this relationship, you have what you want. There's so many examples. There's so many things you can maybe want. When you remain faithful to this idea, you will see that in your imagination, very automatically, related situations will come up. Like Neville said, maybe that suddenly you will see, oh, yeah, like friends would congratulate me. Or wow, like, yeah, I would be in this bigger office. Or yeah, this and this and this would happen. And this is a good test to see where you stand in consciousness, which concept you currently hold about yourself. Because from there on, you will naturally go into all of those different directions and experience all of those different things in your imagination. But like you said, when you persist in that assumption, in that state, this is actually the requirement for it to manifest in your world. But it already exists. That is why your imagination sees those other related events. The same is true regarding any concept. If your concept of yourself is that you are a failure, you would encounter in your imagination a whole series of incidents in conformance to that concept. Right? If you want to, you can also test it out. You don't have to. Rather, assume that you're a winner, that you're created, you're loved, and just see what comes up. Just see that you will wander and experience related situations. Thus, it is clearly seen how you, by your concept of yourself, determine your present. That is the particular portion of creation which you now experience, and your future, that is the particular portion of creation which you will experience. Okay? So this, again, and I talk about this in many of my videos because it is so important, but this again explains why your self-concept is so important. and why this is the root cause and the main thing of everything when you want to manifest your goals. So if you want to learn more about this, check out my free masterclass in the description. But as you said, right, your self-concept determines your past, it determines your now, and will determine your future. So become aware of that and alter it, change it if you don't like it right now, what plays out in your life right now. So really, this sentence is key. You are already that which you want to be. And your refusal to believe this is the only reason why you do not see it. Again, you are already that which you want to be. You already are it. You want to be a successful business owner, you are already it. You want to be in a relationship, you are already in a relationship. You want to be in a relationship with this person, you are already in a relationship with this person. Because when you ask yourself like, how should this happen? What should I need more to do? You can fall back to this principle, to this understanding that when creation is finished, even though you will have some doubts and stuff like that, but that's okay. You will learn how to deal with them. You know that it already does exist. And when you can imagine it, when you can sense it, when you can experience, when you can assume it, when you can tap into that, it does exist. It is already in existence. It's not to be created. It's only to be manifested. And this is, for me at least, it was such a huge relief knowing that everything is already there at my opportunity. I only have to choose. I only have to know what I want, occupy it, and therefore experience it. Right? It's not out of creation. I don't have to ask myself, how can I create this? This is so great. You know it is already created. It's already done. You just have to assume it, occupy it. And your refusal to believe that is actually the only reason that you don't see it. You believing that you are not already the successful person, this wanted person, this desired person, this loved person, this whatever it is. That's the reason why I don't see it. When you would believe it, when you would assume it, you would start to see more reflected back in your world to prove to you that you are already it. When you know what it is, you must assume the feeling that you have it. Although your reason and your senses will deny its existence, persistence and persistency will cause your assumption to harden into fact and objectify upon your screen of space. So this is key, right? Read this part. Persistence will cause your assumption to harden into fact and objectify. But that only means that like it is already a reality. It is already real. It does already exist. It just means that through your persistency, through your assuming that will harden into fact, like make it manifest in this world and into flesh and bones and in this world, right? Objectify itself, but it is already real. It is already what is true. It is already what does exist. And when you accept that, again, understand that, play with that, and realize that, wow, the whole of creation is within my awareness, is within me, is within my true self, is within my consciousness. It's all within me, basically, right? Like Rumi said, you never have to feel alone because the entirety of the universe is within you. But for those of you who this is too esoteric to, that's no problem. So to come back, right? You are already that desired version of yourself. You are already the version of yourself that has your goal. The only thing that you need to do is accept that, assume that, and then live by that. And then you will see that this is exactly what plays out in your life. And that is what is meant by you are already that which you want to be. Like creation is finished. You don't have to figure out how you can become this person. Figure out a difficult way. When you know that, when you imagine that already does exist, you just have to ask yourself, how would it feel like if I would already be this version? How would people treat me? How would I live my day-to-day life when I'm already this person? You can imagine that. You can assume that it's true. You can shift into the state more and more and more. And then be this version. Be it now. There's nothing you need to wait for. If you wait, the mirror of this world will mirror back to you more waiting. But if you make a decision, occupy, shift into this version, you will see the results of that. Same goes for your goals. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely leave me in the comments down below if this helped you, if by now you understand better what is meant by that you are already that which you want to be and that creation is finished. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.